Hey everyone, I'm Lucy. This is where we learn English that's simple, practical, and easy to use in real life. Robert, how have you been lately?
Pretty good, actually. A bit busy, but in a good way. How about you?
Same here. Busy, but feeling good.
Yeah, this is how conversations actually start in daily life.
And speaking of real conversations, let me ask you something.
All right, go ahead.
When learners talk to you in English, is there one grammar topic they know but still feel unsure using?
Oh, definitely. Present perfect.
Exactly. They know the formula, they've practiced it a lot, but when they speak, they stop and think, wait, should I use this tense or not?
And then they hear sentences like, I've eaten, I've been there, I've finished my work, and the confusion starts.
Yeah, is this about the past? Is it about now? And why doesn't English tell us when?
That's the key question.
So today, we're not here to make you memorize more rules. We want to help you feel present perfect, to understand why native speakers choose it, and how it connects to real-life situations.
By the end of this lesson, you won't be asking, what's the rule? You'll be asking, what's the situation?
That's how we learn English at Talk English Every Day. Real life, real feeling, real English.
Music.
All right, let's slow down for a second and ask a real question. When someone says, I've finished my work, what do you think they really care about? Are they talking about the exact time it happened, or are they trying to tell you something else?
That's a great question. Because most learners immediately think about time. They start asking, was it this morning? Was it yesterday? But when I hear that sentence, I don't think about time at all.
Exactly. Native speakers usually don't say that sentence to tell a past story. They're saying it because the past action changes the situation. Now, let's compare it naturally. If I say, I finished my work, it sounds like I'm just telling you something that happened before. It's information about the past, and that's it.
Right? But if you say, I've finished my work, the feeling is very different. You're not focusing on when it happened. You're focusing on what that means right now.
And usually what it means is something like, I'm free now, I'm done, I can relax, I can do something else. Smiling.
That's why present perfect is not really about time. It's about the connection between the past and the present moment.
So instead of asking, when did it happen, a better question is, why are you telling me this now?
Exactly. Once learners understand that feeling, present perfect suddenly becomes much easier. Because you stop thinking like a grammar student and start thinking like a real person in a real situation.
All right, let's try something fun. Smiling. Robert, don't think about grammar. Just tell me what you feel.
Okay, feeling only. If I say I went to Japan, what mode am I in?
You're in story mode. It sounds like something that happened in the past.
Right. And as a listener, what do you expect next?
More details. When you went, who you went with, what you did. Exactly. But at the same time, the trip itself feels finished.
Yeah. The past is closed. You're just telling a story about it.
Now listen to this. I've been to Japan.
Different feeling.
How so?
You're not opening a story, you're sharing experience. And that experience matters now.
Exactly. It tells me something about you in the present. So the key difference is not about time words, it's about what the listener feels. Past simple, the past is finished, story mode. Present perfect, experience, relevance now.
Now, once learners feel that, the choice becomes clear. And grammar suddenly feels human.
All right, let's move into something you hear all the time in real life. Robert, quick question. Have you ever tried sushi?
Of course, many times. And notice something. You didn't ask me when.
Exactly, because I don't care when you tried it.
You just want to know if it's part of my life experience.
Right. Now, let me ask you another one. Have you ever worked late?
Oh yeah, more times than I want to admit.
Same here. And again, no time, no date, no year.
Because the question is not about the past moment. It's about whether that experience exists in your life.
Let's try something more personal. Tentatively. Have you ever felt nervous speaking English?
Yes, definitely. Especially in the beginning.
And that's such a real question. People ask this to connect, not to check grammar.
Exactly. It's not about when you felt nervous. It's about understanding you now, your experience, your feelings, your story as a person.
That's why we use present perfect with have you ever, not to talk about the past, but to connect with someone in the present.
Travel, food, jobs, relationships, even mistakes. Especially mistakes. Smiling.
So remember this feeling, slowly. We don't care when it happened, we care if it's part of your life experience.
All right, let me ask you something. Why do people say, I've lost my phone instead of I lost my phone?
Good question. Because when you say, I've lost my phone, you're not just talking about the past, you're talking about a problem right now. Worry.
Exactly. It means I don't have my phone now.
So the listener immediately feels the situation.
Yeah, maybe you need help. Maybe you can't call anyone. Maybe you're stressed.
Now compare that with, I lost my phone. That sounds like a past event, something that happened before, and maybe it's already solved.
Maybe you found it. Maybe you bought a new one. The problem doesn't feel active anymore.
So again, the difference is not the verb form. It's the feeling you give to the listener.
Present perfect tells us something happened in the past, but it directly affects the situation now. That's why native speakers use it in moments like this.
When something just changed, when the result matters right now. Past action, present situation.
That's present perfect. Smiling. Talk English everyday style.
All right, Robert. Let's talk about two words that confuse a lot of learners. For and since. But first, one important point.
Yeah, let's be clear. Just because a sentence has for or since, it does not automatically mean present perfect.
Exactly. For and since are just time markers. They tell us how long something lasts or when it started, but they don't create the tense, right?
The tense, past, present perfect, etc., comes from the verb, not for or since. Now, let's see how they work in a sentence. I've lived here for 5 years. What does for tell us here?
It shows the duration, 5 years. It doesn't tell us about the tense. That comes from have lived. And the key feeling is the action started in the past, and it's still true now. I'm still living here.
Good. Now let's look at since. I've known her since college.
Here, since tells us the starting point, college, and the feeling, the connection, is still alive now. We still know each other.
So to sum up, for is used to talk about duration, meaning how long something continues. Since is used to talk about the starting point, meaning when it started.
Exactly. They just give context about time. They don't determine the tense.
Present perfect is the tense that connects the past action to the present. For and since just add extra info, how long or from when.
So the real question is still, is it still true now? If yes, present perfect makes sense. If not, maybe past simple is better.
And that's all you need to know about for and since. Smiling. Simple, right?
Simple, clear, and no confusion. Smiling. All right, Lucy. Before we speak, let's ask ourselves 3 simple questions. These are like our little Talk English Everyday checkpoints. Checkpoints, huh? Sounds serious, but I like it. So what's the first one?
First, ask yourself, is the time important? Are you talking about a past story or just the result?
Now got it. If the listener only needs the story, time matters. If the focus is on now, maybe not.
Exactly. Second question, is this connected to now? Does what you're saying affect the situation at this moment?
Ah, That's when present perfect feels right. There's a connection. If there isn't, it turns into a story. Past simple.
Perfect. And the third one, do I care about experience, result, or story?
I like this one. Smiling. If it's about experience, like traveling or trying new food, present perfect. If it's just a story from the past, past simple.
Exactly. So it's not about memorizing rules. It's about asking yourself these three questions before you speak. Then the choice of tense becomes totally natural.
So remember, when it's a story, past simple sounds right. When it's about connection or result, present perfect sounds right.
Simple, clear, human. And that's how Talk English Every Day makes tenses feel natural.
Yeah, no formulas, just 3 questions, and suddenly English feels easy. Excited.
All right, Robert. Before we talk about grammar or words, let's remember 3 big ideas about present perfect.
Yes, the Talk English Everyday spirit. First, present perfect is not about time.
Second, it's about connection to now. It shows how past actions or experiences matter in the present moment.
And third, feel the situation. Don't translate. Don't think, how do I say this word in my language? Think, what is happening now? What's the feeling?
Exactly. Once you really feel this, present perfect stops being scary. It becomes a tool to share your life, your experiences, and your results.
Now let's see how we actually form sentences in present perfect, so you can use it in your own English.
Okay, first, the structure is simple. Affirmative sentences, you always start with have or has for he, she, it plus past participle. For example, I've finished my homework, or she's traveled to Japan.
Exactly. And don't worry, the past participle is simply the verb in its third form. Eat becomes eaten, go becomes gone, and do becomes done.
Now, for negative sentences, just add not after have or has. Example, I haven't seen that movie. He hasn't finished his work yet.
And questions, we switch have or has to the front. Have you tried sushi? Has she visited London?
Perfect. And notice something in all these sentences. We're still focusing on experience, result, or relevance now, not the exact time.
Let's talk about some common patterns you'll use a lot. Experience. Have you ever? Have you ever felt nervous speaking English? This asks if the experience exists in life, not when it happened.
For recent actions that affect now, you'll hear I've just eaten lunch. Now I'm full.
For changes over time or updates, you'll hear I've become or I've started a new job. This is new information, and it matters now.
For completed actions with a clear result now, you'll hear I've finished or I've lost. I've lost my keys, and now I can't open the door.
See, all of these sentences connect the past action to the present moment, which is the heart of present perfect.
And don't forget, even if you make mistakes, it's okay, smiling. Focus on the feeling, the situation, the connection. That's how you'll start using it naturally.
One more thing. Sometimes we use already, yet, just, ever, never to add more meaning.
I've already finished, which means it's done now. Have you ever been to Japan, which asks about experience. I've just seen her, which happened very recently. I've never tried sushi, which means you don't have that experience.
And when you combine these words with present perfect, your English starts to sound very natural, like a native speaker.
Smiling. Exactly. So let's finish with a little reminder. Present perfect shows a past action that affects the present situation.
Form, have or has plus past participle. Negative, add not. Question, put have or has first.
Focus, experience, result, connection, now. And most importantly, feel the situation. Don't translate. This is the Talk English Everyday way.
So now, go out there and tell your own stories, share your experiences, and use present perfect naturally. It's about your life, not a grammar exercise.
Yes, that's the spirit. Present perfect isn't scary. It's your tool to talk about real life.
All right, Robert, before we ask our viewers, let's do a quick mini story ourselves. Just a little real-life conversation. That way, everyone can feel how present perfect works in real life.
Perfect. I love mini stories. So what's first?
Well, I've finished reading that new English book this week.
Nice. I've already read it too. Actually, I've read it twice because I wanted to catch all the tips.
Wow, twice. That's dedication. And last weekend, I realized I'd forgotten my notebook at home before our study session.
Oh no. I remember that. I had already made my notes so I could still teach, but it was a bit stressful.
See? All these sentences are present perfect. I've finished. I've read. I've forgotten. Because they connect the past to now or show our experiences this week.
Exactly. Even the little notebook problem, the action is still relevant now.
So, we've just used present perfect for our mini story.
And now it's your turn.
Yes. Comment below and tell us, have you ever felt confused using present perfect? Or what's something you've learned recently? Or even, how long have you studied English?
Don't worry about being perfect. Just write what's real.
Exactly. Share your stories, your experiences, just like our mini conversation.
That's how you really feel present perfect through your own life and your own English. So go ahead, comment, and let's practice together.
All right, everyone, that's it for today. We hope you felt present perfect in real life, not just as a grammar rule.
Remember, English is about connection, experience, and sharing your story, not perfection.
So speak, write, and share. Don't worry about mistakes.
We'd love to hear from you. Comment below, what's something you've done recently in English? Or have you ever felt confused using present perfect? Speak from your heart. That's the Talk English Everyday spirit.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a tip for real life English.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep feeling English. We'll see you next time on Talk English Every Day. Take care, everyone.
Bye for now.